God's Son, you, who each of you truly are, can be seen because His, God's Son's, vision is shared. Hey, if it could be private and not shared, you could take it off. You could take it to some far place, you might think, and cause it to be never ever found. But because that's impossible, you can't be lost. And you're not lost right now. Talking about God's Son, the Holy Spirit looks upon Him and sees nothing else in you. What is invisible to you is perfect in His sight and encompasses all of it. He has remembered you because He forgot not the Father. Got to bring this back home a little bit closer again. The Holy Spirit is nothing more than your right mind. So, your right mind has remembered you, who you truly are, because He, your right mind, forgot not the Father. You can pretend to be fatherless, but you can't be fatherless. And you can't ever really forget that you have a Father, even if you torque your perception with all of your might, so that for a time it seems as though your Father disappeared. You looked upon the unreal, what you made up, and found despair. Yet, by seeking the unreal, what else could you find? When you're trying to find, and then you think you find something that doesn't exist, it has to be a hollow experience, an empty experience. And because this empty experience has to be going right in the middle of reality, of the kingdom of heaven, it's what's really going on there, where you are with all your might ignoring what's really going on there. The experience is a strenuous experience and an unpleasant experience because you are going right against the grain of yourself, of your being. The unreal world is a thing of despair, for it can never be. There can't ever really be an unreal world, even though your great commitment and highly focused attention has seemed to create a mirage of unreality that seems very evident to you and very real. The unreal world is a thing of despair, for it can never be. And you, who share God's being with Him, could never be content without reality. What God did not give you has no power over you. And the attraction of love for love remains irresistible. Because it remains irresistible, the effort you bring to maintaining your illusion is very strenuous, is very difficult to maintain, because you're having to do it in the face of the irresistible attraction of love. Are you resisting love? No, you don't think you're resisting love, but just suggest that you have a greater capacity to express love than you're expressing. And that every indication of need that you're confronted with is an opportunity for embodying and expressing it. Just see how much you really find love irresistible. Just pay attention to how willing you are to let love flow. What God did not give you has no power over you, and the attraction of love for love remains irresistible. For it is the function of love to unite all things unto itself, and to hold all things together by extending its wholeness. The real world was given you by God in loving exchange for the world you made, for the world you made up, and which you see. You see, these are words. There's only the kingdom of heaven. But the minute you decided to apply different definitions to the kingdom of heaven, and you lost view of the kingdom of heaven, then immediately new words had to be used in order to facilitate your coming back into your right mind. And the real world and the unreal world are such examples. The real world was given you by God. In loving exchange for the world you made and which you see. We have to talk about a real world because reality is different from what you're seeing. And the best way for you to understand the difference is to identify what you're seeing as an illusion, as an imperfect perception of reality. And then we can speak of the perfect perception of reality as the real world. The ego doesn't like the words unreal world, and it loves the words real world. And so you have a natural attraction to the real world, even though initially you don't know what it's referring to. And so by using the terms you can be, the orphan can be, enticed, or gently nurtured into a willingness to look beyond the definitions that it's currently using, which is the way the isolation is broken, and allows you then to begin to have clearer perceptions of reality that you identify as healing and beneficial transformation, which further spurs you on to make greater investments of love with more consistency and more conscientiousness. The real world was given you by God in loving exchange for the world you made and which you see, but take it from the hand of Christ and look upon it. That's like saying, just take it from the hand of Christ and look upon it. That's all you have to do. Let it in. Invite it. Let it be handed to you. Take it. Receive the gift that's being given to you at every moment. Reality, the kingdom of heaven, is presenting itself to you right here, right now, every moment. The gift is being extended. And you're not accepting it because you're so sure of your definitions. But take it from the hand of Christ and look upon it. its reality will make everything else invisible. Meaning what? Meaning all the things that had been visible to you, which were your own imaginations made real by you, for you, even though they did not exist. It's the real world's reality will make everything else, everything you made up, invisible. For beholding it, the real world, is total perception. And as you look upon it, you will remember that it was always so. And what you believed was so will never interfere with your vision again. Nothingness will become invisible, for you will at last have seen truly. Redeemed perception is easily translated into knowledge. And you know that I prefer the word knowing with a capital K. It's a verb rather than a noun. It's an ongoing, conscious awareness of truth. So redeemed perception is easily translated into knowledge, it says here, or knowing. For only perception is capable of error, and perception has never been. It's part of what will become invisible. Being corrected, it gives place to knowledge, or the experience of knowing, which is forever the only reality. The atonement is but the way back to what was never lost. Your Father could not cease to love His Son. Now, this sentence, the atonement is but the way back to what was never lost, is very important in light of what we're going to be reading about for the next few weeks. The fact that at this present moment, no matter how you are perceiving yourselves or each other, you are the full-blown Christ. If anything is here at this moment, it's the fullness of God as God is manifesting Himself. And anything less than that is just a faulty perception you're having, which you cannot successfully forever be blinded by. The ultimate is the governing and present factor at every moment. And that is your salvation. That is what allows you to experience the miracle of suddenly being lifted out of your misperception and having it replaced by the true perception. But there are steps that have to occur in order for you to get free of the limitations that you're experiencing and that you're committed to and that you value so greatly. You cannot say, I am the full-blown Christ right now, because all there is here right now is God presencing Himself without limit. That's the truth, but that's not enough. Because if you sitting here are still insensitive to your wife or your husband or your partner, if you still are not letting in love and allowing it to be a movement that causes your behavior to change, you're still the Christ, believing you're something else and committing yourself to that belief. Something has to happen that causes behavior to change so that behavior embodies the truth of you. And if the behavior doesn't change, and you do not begin to embody the truth of you, you can sit there until you're blue in the face saying the absolute truth. I am the Christ. Because the only thing going on here right now is what God is presencing Himself as without limit. It's a useless acknowledgement if you are still practicing not being the Christ. Enough said. And you're well prepared for what's to come. And I encourage all of you, before next week, to read the next 2 pages. You don't have to go any further than that because we won't even get that far. But you might even read to the end of the section to get a sense of an overview. I love you. I love all of you. I love you in spite of what you think about yourself. I love you in spite of what you believe you are. I love you because of what you actually are at this very moment. And I will continue in whatever ways you can hear to uncover, to illuminate what's really here where each of you are. So that you might dare to change. And remember, one of the most effective, if not the most effective promoters of change is your engaging in involvement with the intent to extend love. I have to make that proviso because many of you think involvement is a good fight or a really great argument. And that is not involvement. That is the means you use to keep yourselves separate, to maintain it with vigor. So this week, on your little sticky sheet that you put on your refrigerator, put the word involvement. And I look forward to being with you next week.